so I find that this observation, just the observation, you don't need to get down on yourself that you have judgments and opinions. The beginning is awareness. The beginning is getting used to being the observer and just noticing what's going on. That's a huge step. And I really commend you for looking at it and staying with it and saying, well, it's kind of yucky stuff in there, but I'm just going to keep watching it. Because it's not always yucky, because the core of it is not yucky at all. It's just we've been conditioned, programmed in a certain way. So you said, we're kind of trained that way. I've traveled quite a bit, and Americans, the American society, the society in the United States, I find, is an extremely confident society, confident beings, who are extremely opinionated about things. On one level, it's a grace of our culture. You're free to express anything you want to say at any time, to anybody. And I have to say that's a blessing, because I've been in cultures where you're not free to say. And you're a little bit like in a box. And it's dangerous, and it's frightening, and it's not comfortable. So the one grace is, yes, I can express anything I want to express. My culture asks for that, and we're often encouraged in school, and everybody's calling out, and that's how we grow up as little kids. And parents encourage that. And occasionally you're in a household where the father's like, nobody talks at dinner. I have a few friends like that. But a lot of us, we're free to engage and express to some degree in this culture. For instance, Asian culture, they're quite opposite. They don't express opinions at all. And some of you are more familiar, let's say, with British culture. Some of you have been to England, let's say. So my brother-in-law was British. Parts of British culture, they don't express at all. You never know what's going on with them. So one of our characteristics is we express ourselves. We have opinions. And what's neat to notice, I can be really opinionated, so I've noticed over the course of many years, is I watch now. And now at a practicing watching, I've practiced observing my mind. So I'm a little bit better at just watching before I launch a missile out there. Before, the missiles were just launched. I just had to say something, and I'm going to, and I'm not even listening, I'm just going to say something. I don't care what you're saying, I'm just going to express myself. Why? Because it's a habit. And so through the observance, so don't stop here, continue. If you find that it was useful for you, it becomes less uncomfortable because you start to get used to yourself and you accept stuff. I accepted for a long time. I got really down on myself. I can't believe I'm a horrible person. I have all these critical thoughts about people, and all I could do was walk into the room and see the negative thing about the room. I didn't see any glory about the job somebody did. So after years of getting feedback from people and realizing that I wasn't making people happy, managing things in a certain way, but I did it, and I kept watching and watching and watching. And after a while I watched so much that then I began to accept, yeah, that's part of who I am. This is a characteristic trait of me, and then I could start to do something about it. So it doesn't mean your character changes. Your character, your personality doesn't change. But I've learned a little bit now, sometimes a really great response for me, that's a great place for my practice, and me wanting to benefit others, and me wanting to be happy, is that I just choose now to close my mouth. Which I never knew how to do that before. Because I never practiced it. I just practiced yelling and screaming and expressing vocally, and that's how I was learned as a kid. That's the way my family was, and verbally just all over the place. So through noticing results out there of what happened with my speech, just for one. So then it would stop on my speech level, and then it started to say, yeah, but the thoughts still happen in my mind.